Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone? I hope you're awesome.
Welcome to another edition of the Daily Hacked.
Yeah, definitely. And this one's a fun one. I think specifically for you, Ron.
I absolutely love branding. So, yes, it is going to be a fun one.
Okay. So, how can one, I'm just going to ask you right off, how can one creatively brand your message for a wider reach?
Right to it. Holy smokes.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, first off, you got to have a message, right? So you got to have some type of message that you want to get out, and it has to come from a real place, right? So let's pretend you already have those pieces, right?
Mhm.
Then you have to be unique, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of how we branded our messaging, right? So we put ourselves on little tiny iPhones, we put ourselves on iPads, and it was video messaging where our brand was on the message, right? And we were able to share those in groups that normally didn't like you branding your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely not my idea, everyone. It was the mad genius on the other side, whichever way he
Whichever
is.
side I'm on.
But no, we were able to do something mundane
Hmm?
and then brand it kind of like we're branded right now. So many people they get on just an interview like we're or a conversation like we're having right now, and they just see their wall or they just see someone else's brand, right? And but for us, because of the kind of the way you think, really, we now anytime we do something like this, it's got our brand, it's got our message on it. So when we go into different groups, even if we're not necessarily promoting our stuff, we are branded our stuff, right? I wear this hat every day. I am promoting ClickFunnels, whether I like it or not. Right? Yeah, you're promoting Nike.
Nike, right?
So everyone should think about what does it look like for them when they just go and have a conversation with somebody, when their picture shows up with somebody, when they send an email, when they like whatever it is, right? Like think about everything in its entirety. And so what we've been talking about, it kind of started with, well, it didn't really start with that exact thing, but it really got us known when we started doing it in certain Facebook groups and challenges and that kind of thing. So what was that first thought when you're like, hey, we should try this?
Oh my gosh. Well, I just remembered like I got tired of seeing everyone just go live and talking. I mean that wasn't unique for me, right? And they try to do like all the crazy loud stuff to be different in their own right, but it's like, gosh, what if we can have some fun with it? Do something that I know people aren't going to take the time to do, right? Because we mapped it out, we talked about it. There were some skits involved, right?
Right.
And then after actually recording the skit, you had to put all the pieces together, right? Just for fun. I mean, it was literally done for us to have some fun, but to creatively brand what we could do for other people, right? So we were somewhat advertising what we could do for others through these fun little videos.
Yeah. And the podcast, right? Like Hindsight Hacking Podcast. We once that was kind of the brand that followed us when we started the podcast, right? Like
Yeah.
we were trying to grow the audience and do different things. And so it's like, hey, let's just have that name out there and organically people will see it. And if they see it enough times, they'll probably go listen to it if they listen to the podcast, right?
Probably,
So
but
just like if they go buy something.
yeah. But what's crazy is, like you said, it was geared towards promoting the podcast, right? And what we found is it confused people because the podcast that we were promoting and how we were known was Hindsight Hacking, yet our agency had a different name. And we had a lot of time just trying to explain, yeah, that's us, but this is also us. There was no cohesiveness amongst the brands that we had.
Yes. And so that then leads us to, we had the podcast and that we weren't going to change that.
Nope.
And so we literally shut down one company and opened a new company.
Yep.
Right. And so, but even this, like, we're on the Daily Hacked, and it's still part of Hindsight Hacking, but it's not necessarily Hindsight Hacking. Right. But it's still got the orange, it's still got some of the feel. So anybody that knows Hindsight Hacking could know that this is, similar and cohesive and all that. So give the audience a couple other tips, right? So we've talked a lot about brand. I guess we've talked now about brand cohesiveness. And we, when we started doing these fun little skits and videos and different things, it was more for like a Facebook type thing, going live, right? And on video. What are a couple other things that we could do for, say, Instagram, if you're not on video, if, some of those other things I know we do for people?
Well, it's about consistency, right? So if you pick brand colors and branding, be consistent. And when I talk consistent, a year, give it a year. Like consistent, putting things out there, publishing for a year, don't change it. Don't change it, because you want to build up loyalty, trust for your brand. If it's you individual or your company, you're building that trust up, right? On Instagram, again, we branded everything we do. We're branded. So you have your own color scheme that fits into the Corey Carter brand. Okay. Has some orange in it, right? To kind of tie it to the Hindsight Hacking piece. I have the Ron Cool brand, which has some orange in it to tie it to the Hindsight Hacking piece. But if you go to our Instagrams, it's truly about our own personal brand, right? We are branding our own personal selves in that. So then people get to know us differently. So they might get to know us from the podcast. They might get to know us from the Daily Hack videos, or if, they work for the agency, they get to know us a little bit different there as well, or in our coaching, right? But if they're on Instagram, they get to see inside like more of a personal side, but it's still branded.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So to recap, creatively brand your message for a wider reach. I love what you said there, being consistent. And it's funny that you mentioned that, and you mentioned staying there for a year, because December of 2019 was when Hindsight Hacking was born with the orange, right? And it was done for a number of reasons. One, we like the color, but two, it helped us stand out on the iTunes pictures and that kind of stuff, right? And so, but now as we have grown and as we have some of our own other products and different things, like now we're actually talking, some things might not have this orange tone, or are we ready to rebrand away from orange in general? But we're still talking it as far as all the different things we're talking about the cohesiveness. And so just walk everyone through that a little bit, right? Like, you can grow and build new products. You can have different things. Sometimes it's orange, sometimes it's not. The names aren't, the fonts might be different. But how do you tie it all back? How do you get that cohesiveness?
So first off, am I frozen?
No, I can't.
Okay, all right, because it's coming across frozen to me, but that's okay. So let's just kind of go down. I think Hindsight Hacking is orange. I think it stays orange, and that's just the brand of who Hindsight Hacking is and who we are as Hindsight Hacking Media. However, I think there's other pieces. Actually, it's not, I think, I know, because we have other pieces that are different colors that tie into Hindsight Hacking Media, right? And we've introduced a couple colors for a couple different products, and I think the product lines will have different color schemes that go with those lines.
Yeah, and I want to talk about a perfect example of utilizing exactly what you're just talking about, and that's Russell Brunson's books.
Right.
So anybody that has paid attention to .com secrets, it's basically got the same font as Expert Secrets and Traffic Secrets. It's got the same feel as those, with the secrets, kind of having a square box or rectangle around it. But the .com secrets book is red. And the .com or the Expert Secrets book is, I believe it was blue or purple. And then Traffic Secrets is green. So that's an example of it fits, it's cohesive, but it's got a little different color for a specific reason. So you could call out, oh, it's the red book, right? Like, it's the book, it's on brand, it's cohesive, but you can call out the one by memory, specifically by the color.
That's exactly what is a perfect example. So when we have a line of products, those lines of products might be yellow, black, and white. We might have another brand or type of products that has a green in it, right? Or we might have one that's completely 80s neon. Who knows? But it's going to be consistent.
Right. All right, everyone. So is your brand consistent? Are you cohesive with everything you're putting out there, from your emails, your email signature, to your offers, your websites, your domains? Like, nothing has to be exact, but if they are branded properly, they will flow, be cohesive, and people will start to associate all the brands with the one name that's attached to it, and that is yours. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for another Daily Hacked, and I really appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, for being the best part of the Hindsight Hackers community.
Jello.